Welcome back, everyone, to some more high-level Heatseeker scrims. Today, we're looking at a very impressive lobby from all the way back in March. And a couple of top players have told me that this is the best scrim that has ever happened. And despite being in the lobby myself over on the orange team, I don't actually remember it all too well. So I figured this was the perfect chance to go back and look and see exactly what made this scrim so special and so praiseworthy among a couple of top players. The first thing I noticed is that all 6 players in this lobby are constantly being rated in players' top 10s on their tier lists and such. And for a scrim of this caliber to happen, it's not a very common occurrence. Typically, there's at least 1 or 2 players that are a bit further down on the ratings and such that, you know, keep the scrim itself from being such an incredibly high caliber. For this first game right here, we're looking at Periscope POV as he falls off the ceiling there and receives that pass from Heatseeker. He's gonna get the first one for blue team over there. But you know, there's a lot of matches that happen in this scrim, and a lot of them are quite close. Like a lot of the games were very close, and so that's another thing that stands out as to why it might be a really good scrim. Because if all the players are playing well and the matches are, you know, 1-2 goal games constantly, then I can see why that would make a scrim be, you know, rated so highly by the players. But here for this game, it seems like Hunter's gonna be playing goalie for the blue team with Heatseeker at mid, and Periscope, the guy we're looking at it through the lens of up on the offense. And over on the other team, you have myself, Lid, which is E, by the way, as he, speaking of E, he gets scored on right there by Periscope's little ceiling shot. But yeah, Lid is E over there. E over there is Lydipai, if you couldn't figure that out already. But you've got me and Heatseeker. I can't really tell which of us is playing up. Maybe we're doing a bit of, moving around and such. But you can clearly see Lid is playing all the way back there at the goalie position. Heatseeker's going to touch this over the top of me, getting that beat. And Peri's going to try to make something happen. I don't know what he was expecting to accomplish there, but our blue team does keep up the pressure that they have at the moment. Peri's going to try to set up Heatseeker for a touch here, but Lid is going to shut that down, no problem at all. That's a really good read, actually, there from Heatseeker. It sets me up perfectly. He read Hunter's touch phenomenally well. And I get the finishing touch off the backboard bounce, really giving me a freebie there. Hunter, sure, tries to find something there to Heatseeker. Heatseeker was not expecting that kind of pass. But something to note is that around, this time in the Heatseeker scene, This was when Heatseeker was popping, probably the most it ever has. The number of high-quality players that were all grinding quite hard, scrims every single day, is at an all-time high for sure. Even more now, despite HSL 4 coming up, which is, a big event for the Heatseeker scene. This time period was even more active and competitive. Orange team gonna bring that gap back down to 1. Also, I wasn't paying attention to the game for about 30 seconds there, and it's now like 2 more goals than I thought there were. But, despite it took like a whole minute for the first goal to happen, and we're already only a minute and a half later back up or all the way up to 5, not back up to 5. Peri's trying to chase down Lid for a demo there. Heatseeker just barely misses that touch, and it actually directly leads to a goal. Heatseeker ends up getting the pass off the sidewall. Ball gets put behind Hunter in the goal. And we're all tied up. Here we go. Back at 0-0, essentially. Periscope trying to send it over to Heatseeker off the backboard. He's going to do so once again. It's, not too difficult to read for the orange defense. They're going to play back upfield. But the Hunter, oh, wait. Hunter, rare occurrence, moving all the way upfield for Heatseeker's pass. Maybe that's another thing that doesn't actually happen in top-level scrims nearly as much anymore is the rotations, the free spirit nature that some of the players have has been kind of suppressed a bit. They don't tend to move upfield nearly as much as, you see Hunter doing in this play right here. That's a really good save from Heatseeker. Orange team almost took the lead for the first time in this game. Peri trying to set himself up for his own kind of play, though. Not gonna convert it. He wasn't quite able to get around that ball for the shot. Heatseeker going for one of his own. It's gonna get shut down as well. Going back into more of a neutral game, maybe a bit of pressure. What in the world is that goal? You would think that we're watching OK POV after seeing a goal like that, but this is indeed Periscope, and he did just get a very wonky double touch off of the corner of the opponent's backboard. And as soon as Orange team took that lead, they instantly lost it, like, right away. That did not last very long. But Hunter gonna get aggressive there, push up field a bit to get that touch up to Peri. Very quick touch there. He's not able to get a goal out of it. He's just getting a quick beat, and Aceburger almost capitalizes on it. Klexic kind of tied the game back up, though, on the other end. Only 51 seconds remaining. Match is turning out to come, you know, it seems like it's coming down to the wire here. Hunter playing it over to Peri. Peri's going to try to shoot that directly off the ceiling. Lid is having none of that. Positioning very well off the ceiling there. Double attempt from Klex. Aceburger's going to bump him off and stop that read from happening. Peri trying to go for a very close range double. That's an interesting decision. He had enough space to go for just a regular shot there. Maybe he thought someone on the defense would smother him with that. Oh, and the Lid backflip on the goal line. Giving blue team the lead. Less than half a minute remaining. So far, to be honest, though, that might be the first goal that, like, came... That, like, you know, obviously it was a mistake, and there have been more mistakes than just that goal. But even after the mistakes for the other goals, it's like the team that scored still had to work for it. That might be the first goal where the mistake directly caused the goal rather than just setting the other team up for a goal. Peri trying to get one more to see the deal. He actually does get the goal. He puts it in. And that's probably going to seal this game. Only 7 seconds left. It's very difficult for, you know, Orange team to get 2 goals in this time frame, especially considering they have to give up the kickoff for the last goal. And that's going to seal the deal. Maybe they can get one more for the road. But that isn't going to, you know, result in a change of the result in the game. We actually do keep it up on 0 seconds off Klex's backboard touch. And that concludes game 1. It was actually a very competitive match. Like, all the goals, like I said, were solid goals. I did not see a single goal in that game that was not almost completely earned from either team. And it went all the way to 6-5. That is not something you see very often. Here we go with our second match here, where we're looking at Lydipai's POV for this one. And, you know, as you saw from the last game, he seems to be playing more of a goalkeeper position here. He's going to beautifully, you know, position to help support his teammate who does not need it as they score that double. I didn't quite catch who that was. But that was beautifully executed play. I believe it was Klexic. I thought it was a light car. Great work from him there. But I thought I'd you know, highlight Lydipai here because, you know, as of late he's been, you know, a lot more inactive. Probably the most inactive he's ever been in terms of, you know, hours played in the mode itself. You know, number of scrims that he's been a part of. But, you know, it's not entirely his fault. He's just been a bit busy. And he is looking to, you know, get involved once again whenever HSL starts back up. But because of his, you know, recent inactivity, he's kind of fallen a bit down on, you know, the tier list and stuff. But despite that, which it's not the first time something like this has happened. This is probably the most inactive he's been, as I mentioned before. But every single time his activity has declined a bit. He gets back into it, and he soars right back up into, you know, those top 5 in a spot contention, along with, you know, the rest of the players in this lobby, and a couple other names outside of it, like Undertow and Tabs. But it's definitely, you should definitely be on the lookout for him when HSL comes. Depending on how much he wants it, he could easily soar right back up there and be contending for one of the top placing finishes in HSL. He's got Periscope and Klexic on his team for this one, and over on the other team is Aceburger, myself, and Hunter. And it's just like, it's like I say those team names, and I'm like, wow, that's such a strong team. That's gonna be an easy win. But then I read the other team name, and I think the exact same thing. I'm gonna tie myself up. That's insane. I'm gonna tie the match back up right there on that max speed ball. We're back at 0-0, minute and a half. Klexic's gonna send that forward to Peri off the wall. Peri's going for another double. I already noticed, like I said at the end of last game, the goals are being earned. Both of the goals so far in this game have been, you know, the same trend. Aceburger's going for a self-pass over there. Lid will get back to this in time. He almost chokes the save. I was not expecting that. That made me sit up in my chair. He's not gonna be able to reach this read, but luckily for him, Hunter can't either. Aceburger and myself over there double committing. Hunter, that's a really good touch. This might be tough for Lid to read. Klexic recognizes the danger and comes back to help, preventing Hunter from scoring off of it. Lid sends it up to Peri. Look at the near post touch, the little skimmer. Great finish there from Peri. We talked about him a bit last game, but I didn't really go too in-depth with Peri. We'll have to save that for another time. Aceburger gonna get this pass off the kickoff, trying to go for a double. It's not gonna work out. I just kind of noticed, actually, why in the world am I playing goalie, especially back here? Hunter gonna pass that up to Aceburger, who's gonna put it in the bottom corner around Lid. Great execution, great speed and recognition from the blue team to see they have that opportunity. But yeah, I don't, like, you know, I typically float around, but considering I have Aceburger and Hunter on my team, it's very surprising that I am back there in the net as opposed to in midfield or especially up. Because Aceburger very heavily mains midfield and Hunter very heavily mains net, so it's a bit of a surprise that that's what our formation looks like. Maybe I specifically wanted to play there for this scrim. Lid, though, moving upfield, doing a bit of rotation there, gets a great backboard read. Oh my goodness. Taking the lead back for his team. Probably not the type of goal you expect much from Lid, because he's kind of known to be a bit more of a fundamental player and just being more consistent and reliable, but he is very capable of hitting stuff like that, you know, not quite on command maybe, but quite often. He can do it when he wants to most of the time. Oh my goodness, look at the play. Like, every single touch, it seems like, from both teams is just a pass directly to a teammate. And then a teammate, if they're not able to score, Peri, that's something he's always been strong at, getting those weird angles and shots from awkward positions. He's able to put that one in the bottom corner. But yeah, like I mentioned, I wasn't sure what made this scrim so special, but every single player seems to be at the top of their game right now. No one really seems to be playing poorly or slumping or anything like that. Which, a weird trend that I guess a lot of people maybe don't know this, but whenever we have scrims like this, it seems to be like one person playing well, everyone else playing horrible, and it just makes everyone in the scrim miserable. Because one person's just winning every single game, and everyone else feels like they can't do a single thing they want to with their car. Hunter trying to pass this back over to Aceburger, who actually almost reached that. That was quite impressive. I thought he had no chance, but he almost got a touch off the backboard. Hunter setting him up once again. Setting me up, actually. Aceburger going back to fill in. Lydipai's not going to have any trouble covering that shot, or E, should I say. He is going to let that ball bounce around to the midfield. I'm kind of surprised. Peri does end up covering it for him. Lexic wrapping that back around to Peri. Peri taking the shot. Look at the placement. Hitting it below the pre-jumping Bramble. I probably wasn't too happy about missing that save since, you know, it was smart play for Peri. It was good placement considering where I was, but Hunter going for a double, actually almost connecting with it. Aceburger going to send it back his way. See, these touches from blue team, they are down by 2 goals, but I feel a lot of the touches they're getting are quite difficult for the orange defense to handle. It's not like they could just easily get a clear on the backboard. Orange team maybe just not following it up to, or sorry, blue team maybe just not following those touches up as well as they would have liked to, and that's what's keeping them from scoring as much as they would want to. Blue team, however, you know, can't say the same for them. They're not having trouble scoring. They're up 2 goals with only 20 seconds left in this one. Lid not able to keep that one out. That's a nice near post shot there, I think, from Hunter. This guy's saying he can't play up, bro. Look how well he's doing in this. Him and Aceburger. Literally, up is not either of their main positions, and they are both putting on a show goal scoring wise for this game. Hunter not going to be able to read that one. Clock is ticking down, 10 seconds left. Blue team's going to need one here in the fading final moments. But it's not looking like they're going to get it. Orange team is in a really good defensive position, and that one shot over there is not going to quite make its way in. I pre-flipped the save there. Hunter going for a double. Ties the game up. Wait a second. For some reason, I was like nailing the coffin, but that just tied the game up. We're going to overtime. I was not expecting that. Really great play there from Hunter on 0 seconds to send this one into overtime. I have not watched these games prior to recording, by the way, so this is all a surprise to me. I did not know this was going to happen. I just picked this game because it was close. But here we go. Back into overtime. We're on the slower speed ball. I'm not expecting a goal to happen too soon with how these players have been playing in this lobby. They're going to play a bit safer now that it's in overtime. Not going to let a quick goal happen, but Lydipai with the misread there almost does exactly the opposite of what I just said. And then I do the same thing on the other hand, missing the read, giving Orange team an open net to end the game. The ice was not there. But I have to say, like, I've only watched 2 games out of, I think, 14 that were in this scrim. And I would have to agree so far that this has been, like, this is some good Heatseeker right here. This is some very good Heatseeker. Even nowadays, we don't get scrims of this caliber, despite, you know, you would expect the player base in general to be a bit better now than they were, what, 5 months ago? That's quite a long time. Quite a lot of room for improvement there, but Yeah, I think I'm definitely agreeing so far with what the other top players have been saying about this being the best scrim that has happened in Heatseeker, and maybe this means I should look at a couple more. Who knows? We'll see in the future. But thank you all for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in another one.